You know that. Hong Kong's been all over the news for the last 6 months. So let's take a look at it. Hong Kong is located on China's southern coast, about 60 kilometers east of Macau, and neighboring the Chinese city of Shenzhen to the north. Hong Kong is a territory consisting of Hong Kong Island, the Kowloon Peninsula, Lantau Island, and the New Territories, and over 200 smaller islands. Most of its territory is covered by tropical forests and mountains. What is the history of Hong Kong? Originally, it was a sparsely populated area of farming and fishing villages. Then, in 1842, Hong Kong became a colony of the British Empire after Qing China ceded Hong Kong Island at the end of the First Opium War. The colony expanded to the Kowloon Peninsula in 1860 after the Second Opium War, and was further extended when Britain obtained a 99-year lease of the New Territories in 1898. By the end of the 19th century, Hong Kong was becoming one of the largest ports in Asia and was one of the most successful colonies of the British Empire. The population was growing rapidly. In 1945, it was only 600,000, but in the 1980s there were already 5 million people living there. People were fleeing from the Civil War in China, in which the communists were prevailing. Today, Hong Kong has a population of 7.4 million and an area of 1,100 square kilometers, or 426 square miles, which makes it one of the most densely populated places in the world. What is the status of Hong Kong today? Hong Kong was transferred back to China in 1997 after 156 years of British rule as a special administrative region, and today Hong Kong maintains separate governing and economic systems from that of mainland China under the principle of one country, two systems. Hong Kong is a highly developed territory, and it has the largest number of skyscrapers of any city in the world. Also, its residents have some of the longest life expectancies in the world. There are two official languages, Chinese and English, and most people speak Cantonese Chinese instead of Mandarin Chinese. The writing system here is different as well. They use traditional Chinese instead of simplified Chinese, which they use in mainland China. When it comes to economy, Hong Kong is the largest financial center in Asia and the third largest in the world after New York and London. And it's one of the 4 Asian tigers. Nominal GDP per capita is $49,000, the 16th place in the world. Today, it has the second largest number of billionaires, 79, second only to New York, live in Moscow, Beijing, London, and other cities behind. Why is Hong Kong so wealthy? Because of the low taxation, minimal government market intervention, and an established international financial market, which attracts overseas corporations wishing to establish a presence in Asia. It also has ranked at the top of the Heritage Foundation's Economic Freedom Index since 1995. Also, Hong Kong is one of the world's busiest container ports. Tourism is a major part of the economy, accounting for 5% of the GDP. In 2016, 26.6 million people visited Hong Kong, making it the 14th most popular destination for international tourists. On the downside, Hong Kong is among the most expensive cities in the world, along with Paris and Singapore. The average salary after taxes is $2,500, which makes it a lucrative place for foreign workers. Filipinos constitute the largest ethnic minority in Hong Kong, numbering approximately 130,000 people, many of whom work as foreign domestic helpers. You can see them get together on Sundays in the parks. Over 90% of the local residents rely on public transportation, and public transportation is great. Now, it's a good idea to get a transport card called Octopus Card as soon as you arrive. This Octopus Card is widely accepted on the subway, buses, and ferries, and you can also use it for payments in most retail stores.
What are you using to pay for this?
Octopus.
Oh, Octopus, okay.
The MTR subway system is the quickest and most cost-effective way to get around. You can get to most tourist areas of the city by MTR, except for a few spots, which you can only get to by bus or taxi, such as Stanley Market or Aberdeen. Double-decker tram system was founded in 1904. After more than 100 years, the city now operates a fleet of 165 trams, the world's largest double-decker tram fleet, carrying an average of 200,000 passengers every day. There are also double-decker buses and more than 18,000 taxicabs. While New York is famous for its yellow taxis, Hong Kong taxis are red and white, and they use the same car model, Toyota Crown Comfort, that had been in production for 22 years, from 1995 to 2017. Now they're being replaced by newer models. There are over 500 private vehicles registered in Hong Kong, and cars drive on the left side, unlike in mainland China, due to historical influence of the British Empire. Owning a car is super expensive, and monthly parking alone will set you back $400 to $500. Gas is very expensive too, $2.2 per liter or $8 a gallon. A car in Hong Kong is only necessary if you live really far from the center, and you can't do without it. But with the amount of wealthy people they have in Hong Kong, this doesn't stop people from having cars. Just look at the traffic flow. For a long period, Tesla was the electric car in Hong Kong. Elon Musk once called Hong Kong a beacon city for electric cars. That's until the local government took away a generous tax incentive, and Tesla sales went down and really never recovered after that. The number of supercars on the city streets will make you turn your head